Welcome to Let Jamie Talk. I'm Jamie here with Ben and Brett as always. And today I've got a very special guest, Mr. Ray Jones.
Hello.
Welcome to the tiny house. We're glad you're here. Thanks for getting up early for us.
Yeah, no
Although,
problem.
that's no problem for you, right? You early riser, always on time kind of guy.
Try to be, yeah.
So,
Are you an early riser, Ray?
I mean, not unless I have to be.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Not on your off days.
right.
I gotcha.
well, as far as going to work and coming to work on time, I think Ray is the most
Consistently.
reliable.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a joke, but it's like words put together.
Yeah. It would have been funnier if you wouldn't have explained it.
Well, see, that's kind of the part of the thing that I try to make it funny, because it's kind of, well, anyway, there you go. There'll be more. There's more coming. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ray gets to work like the most honest timist, out of everybody.
Yeah.
Even me. I put him ahead of me too.
Right.
Certainly. Way ahead. Anyway, so yeah, no big deal. But we are here just going to see what Ray's all about today.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm glad you got some notes I saw in your notebook.
I do.
So last week you had me worried, bro. Mm-hmm. What I can't figure out is that you brought your notebook. You opened it up like you're going to use it, but the pages were all blank. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's a comfort thing just seeing it there beside you.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. It's a camera prop. I really thought that maybe during the conversation I would write a question down.
Right.
But I was able to keep it all in here.
All in the noggin, huh?
It was right there. So,
Well-
and we talked for almost 2 hours about what's in your driveway.
All right. Amazing. I can't believe it.
Without any notes.
Well, and if I need to throw something over at Brett, I don't think he got a lot of sleep last night.
Yeah.
So he's been traveling and delayed flights and all that. So he's on edge a little bit because, no sleep. So just be careful. Well,
Yeah, where'd you go, Brett?
Providence, Rhode Island, and Boston.
There you go.
So if he's got a little bit of accent today, he's been...
Well, it's funny.
Somebody said that if they listen to you, Jamie, in 1.5 times in the podcast, you sound like a northerner. I was like,
No way.
wow. We should do a whole episode.
Somebody sped it up.
Yeah.
Well, I think they waited until like
they
an
did.
hour and 30 minutes or an hour in, and they were like, I'm speeding it up to 1.5.
I get you. Well, that's pretty cool. I'll have to try that. I do get accused of changing my voice. It's involuntary. It's unintentional. Mm-hmm. But like we have a lot of Hispanic people on the crew working on the house, like doing roofing, insulation, stonework, and I don't speak Spanish, but my English can sound like Spanish. And I don't think about it, but
your English can
everybody
sound like
gives
Appalachian.
me a hard time for that. And maybe I should just quit doing that, but I don't do it on purpose, really.
Right.
But anyway, also, I don't know if you know Charlotte. You may not know Charlotte she used to work for Sashco, but
Yeah.
she was giving me a hard time about that on her social media the other day because I did a 3-way call with her and her dad. He was having a thing he was trying to figure out doing maintenance, and apparently I turned country real fast, maybe because he sounded country.
Well, that happens with me. Like
Does
if you get around, sometimes it used to be bad, like around my grandfather or something. Like mine would get drawn back into,
Right. You kind of do get sucked into it a little bit. I'm sure this happens to Ray all the time too. You ever do that?
I don't, I think if I'm around more country people, I tend to sound more country.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Even Ray does it.
Even Ray does
And that
it.
makes it okay.
Yeah.
Does Jay do it though? Because he's not country.
I don't know. I don't know. He's from, where is he from?
I don't know. We haven't interviewed him.
Well,
Florida.
yeah, you'll find out.
He's
You'll
most
find out.
recently from Florida.
Yeah,
but
most
I
recently.
don't know where
Florida's
he's
all
born.
I'm sure when Ray goes back home, he starts sounding like whatever they sound like.
Yeah, well, don't give that away yet.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We don't. Brett, what were you doing in Rhode Island? Was it for your daughter's graduation, right?
Yeah, thanks, man. It's like a really special gift. I took her to a Strong Towns conference.
What is that?
Strong Towns is a movement of urbanization in America. So undoing a lot of policies that have been written in government over the since like the 40s on like parking and infrastructure and roads and parking requirements. Like if you have an apartment building in a downtown, you have to have 1.5 parking spaces per bedroom and all these things that have no reason. There was no evidence or mathematical equations. They just kind of became the rule. And so over time, you end up with these massive areas of parking in downtowns, and it kind of sucked the life out of them.
Wow.
So this whole movement is basically not trying to completely undo that, but to, I don't know, what's the word I'm trying to get?
Is this going to be a long story?
No, it's not. It's trying to take away. You asked where I was going. It's kind of an important thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, trying to bring life back into downtowns by changing policy to allow for people to build like apartments and stuff without having to add excessive parking or anyway. There you go.
That's all.
And it took my
exciting.
daughter, who's 18 and going to study civil engineering at North Carolina State, and she.
It's what every kid wants for graduation.
Yes,
What a
was
gift!
her idea.
What a gift!
It was her idea.
Yes.
I mean, that's like a Jamie thing.
I mean,
I imagine if you graduated from something, you'd be like, I'm going to go to a conference on such and such.
Well, as much as
If
I'd
it was
like to make
speakers,
fun of
yeah.
them,
If it was on
that
speakers.
actually, it actually is all sounding very interesting. So, I don't know anything about that, so you can give us the
I would be happy to, but it'd be a whole podcast.
Okay, great.
But I'll give a shout out to John JPEG. All right, he was the keynote or one of the speakers there, and he's a huge influencer. He lives in Chattanooga, which isn't too far from us. John JPEG, man, he's all about community development, walkable cities, and bike riding and all that. It's cool. It's fun.
Nice.
But we're not all anti-car, just so you know. It's just it's pro walking, not anti-car.
What did you do this week?
Nothing. Washed my car. Just sat around.
Built a deck.
Yeah, played with some speakers.
I did. Yeah, I'm always playing with some speakers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even remember last weekend right now, so I'm just making all that up. But
Okay.
How
are things going at the house?
Well, at the big house job, it's drywall is about to start. So insulation just got done.
Somebody wants me to do, not me, but they want you all to do a time lapse of the drywall installation. Maybe Ray can. Wait, can we set up an iPhone for however many weeks it's going to take?
I'm sure Ray could get the shot. And that's something we say a lot about Ray. Ray got the shot. Well, that'd be a tough ask right there to film all the drywall going in.
Yeah.
It would take a full time.
Well, they just
person.
said a time lapse. Like if we just had endless iPhones set up in every room and just could have them on for days, you could just have a time lapse.
If you could somehow take a security camera that can follow, motion detect,
Oh, that's a good idea.
and then set them to time lapse in every room,
that'd be
Live
good.
you could go crazy.
That would work.
That would work.
I don't know that that's a thing, but
Anyway, no promises here.
so we're not going to be there while drywall's going in. So we'll give you a good look at it when it's done.
Right.
Sorry. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's about to start. That's going to be a big. All right. That's going to be a big truckload of drywall.
It is. Actually,
Or multiple truckloads.
So yesterday at about 5 till 5, I got the inspection for the insulation.
Okay.
All right. So then that's given me the green light to get the drywall delivered, right? Because you don't get it delivered first. You don't, because then the inspector walks in and they not only have a hard time seeing, the insulation because you lean the drywall boards against all the walls everywhere, but they know that you're kind of pushing a little forward. Anyway, I don't know if it's a thing or not.
A little
but
presumptuous.
I try to be
have
respectful.
drywall when he's not done inspecting what's behind it.
That's right. Yeah, I try to make it open and easy as possible for the inspectors to see what work. I've called them and asked them to come inspect, and I was worried because actually that delivery is supposed to happen this morning for the drywall, and they already tried to send it once without me telling them to go send it.
Does it come from Jennings too?
No, it comes from a different place in Franklin.
okay.
No, it's just like drywall material supply.
Just a drywall store.
Yeah, Jennings. I don't even know if they carry drywall.
Okay.
I don't think they do. So at any rate, they had called me. The driver of the truck says, "Hey, we're on the way. Where's this job?" I said, "Man." I said, I didn't even pay for this stuff yet. Usually they won't send it out till you pay for it.
Yeah.
Over the phone or whatever, use a card. And so I wasn't worried about them showing up because I didn't pay for it. They're not going to drive it out there and drop it off. And so, or what they'll do is they'll park on the job and they'll wait for you to pay for it. But that's pretty silly too. So anyway, unfortunately, all the material for this job was loaded and on its way to the job. And I had to tell them to go back and unload it and don't deliver it. So
That's a lot.
that stinks. I kind of felt like I dropped the ball, but I also feel like they jumped ahead on me. Who's to say?
Was that right in the middle of the thunderstorms too?
I don't know. It was like Monday or Tuesday this week.
Oh, okay. It wasn't yesterday.
And then, so I got my inspection right at the end of the day.
Right.
So I tried to call the drywall place to say, hey, I got the go ahead. Let me pay for this stuff. Y'all can send it tomorrow. But they didn't answer. And then, of course, the first thing I thought is, man, we start recording our podcast this morning on Friday at 8 in the morning till, 10 or 11. And I'm not going to be able to answer the phone. They're going to be calling me.
We'll take a break.
Yeah.
You let me know.
But then the guy called. This is getting long.
It is getting long.
Sorry. The guy called me back like an hour later.
Oh.
Yeah, like
we're
after
good.
hours. I was
Gotcha.
like, what? They don't. This has never happened before.
Huh.
So anyway, I got it paid for.
When you've
I
got that
the
much
delivery set
drywall
up.
you want to get rid of, there it does.
They were excited about coming on the job site because they've been watching the build,
Gotcha.
And I told them, well, I won't be there. So I'm sorry.
Nobody was
Well,
anybody
maybe
there?
somebody should go up and record them.
Somebody will be there,
Yeah.
but not me.
All right. Brett just said he would go up and record them.
All right, then.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
It is
Closed up walls will be a different feel up there for sure.
Oh, totally.
I think.
Well, even with the insulation, it's a lot different.
Oh well, yeah. I haven't been up there since the insulation happened.
Yep, you need to come in check it out.
Yeah,
it's quieter now, of course. With the insulation, all of a sudden,
it's just like
your ears are searching for sound, and it's dead sounding. It's weird. And now it's going to get echoey again.
Except when you start using that Keurig machine to try to make coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Did you still try that?
Yeah, we've tried it a couple times.
It's still working?
Yeah, still working.
Maybe we should just get them like a jet boil bin, a camp stove.
Maybe.
And you
French
guys can
press
just have
it?
We can French press coffee.
Get me one of those big espresso machines y'all got.
Yeah.
Just to plug it into
Just for
that'd
my
be great.
job site.
Just plug it, set it on top of a generator.
Probably.
I tell you what,
Three phase.
I'll take your.
No.
Actually, no, I won't
No,
even take
the
your
one-
truck in exchange for that espresso machine, Jamie.
Oh wow.
Well, the one we had before, we had the one we had before the one we had now is a 110.
Yeah, it would have
Was
been.
it?
It would have been good. It's
wasn't
still out
even
there.
wasn't even 220.
They're normally 220, I bet, though, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless
I
you're,
mean, anything in a commercial.
Well,
Yeah,
when you're
pretty much.
serious about your coffee,
right.
you need that thing to heat up and make coffee fast.
If you want to know about espresso machines, ask Ben.
I
This guy
don't-
does his research.
I don't really want to know, but I would love to pretend that I'm interested.
Yeah.
So that you could tell me about it.
Well,
least
you
he's
should be.
honest.
Yeah. You should be. You drink coffee.
No, I do.
Not anymore.
No,
You're
I
on
do
tea.
drink coffee.
Yeah.
It's just that my voice and my thing is my throat, and
I read one of the comments. Somebody said to drink olive leaf extract.
okay, never heard of that.
I hadn't either.
But I am doing better.
But you
so
should drink it.
I'm back on coffee.
They said that would get rid of the
Really?
phlegm in the back of your throat. I don't know.
Olive leaf
Yeah.
extract.
Mm-hmm.
I think you made
you
that
have to
up.
dig through the comments on
I
that
think
one.
you made that one up.
The Ray, what'd you get into this week? Well, I guess you worked.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on this side project, the deck.
Tell them about the side job there, so I don't have to. We took a side job. Ray's going to tell you about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let Ray talk.
Well, it's a deck extension kind of project, plus some random other stuff that we did.
A deck extension.
Yeah.
So they already have a deck.
Yeah, there's already a deck there, and we're extending it. Was it 8 by 20?
Yeah.
Something
Okay.
like that. So
Is it covered?
Not covered.
Okay.
Close to the ground.
10 feet? 8 feet?
Not close
You call
enough.
it close? Not close.
I mean, it's on ladders.
It's
so
not
no.
bad,
yeah, it's
compared-
not.
Yeah.
Do you like the side projects?
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
No.
Sometimes
How about
I
the
don't.
Pine Cottage?
That one. I'm hoping that we're done there.
Us too.
Yeah. Remodels are not my favorite necessarily. Going back and fixing other people's stuff, I don't really enjoy doing that. Seems more work than just building it from the ground up. So
It is
yeah.
absolutely more work.
Yep.
You get that interesting discovery part,
Well-
though, when you start peeling off the layers.
It is fun. I like it. I realize now not everybody likes it as much as I do, but I still keep thinking about it because, I drive past it to get here. I look down the hill and I see that dirty metal roof.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still been this whole soft wash, pressure wash, chemical spray.
But I'm going to be like, you're going to wash that, and then the sun's just going to shine right in my face when I'm sitting on my porch.
See, the neighbors
gonna hit
actually
that.
want it dirty.
You want it dirty? Yeah. Well, our guest won't be able to see that part of the roof. It's just you see it from up here.
All right, well, we'll just leave it dirty.
So I think
No,
I'm
you can
about
wash
to
it.
go
It's
buy a
fine.
big
We planted some
big boy pressure washer.
We planted some bushes.
Yeah, well, there should be some separation.
No, they planted bushes, though, up on their end.
We planted bushes
you
here.
did.
And you planted bushes, I think.
Okay.
I don't know how tall.
Not right there.
Something.
But
Yeah, not right there. Never mind.
All right then. Well, Ray, your wish is granted. Basically, we're done working down there
Good.
for now.
good.
For now, he said.
now.
For now,
Well, yeah.
you never know what's next.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't.
sure there'll be
anyway.
another project down the line somewhere.
Ray, you've been a part of most of them. Most of the side projects.
Yeah, except I think all of them except
Park.
the first one, Park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ray used to be interested in working with me on Fridays or
Okay.
Saturdays some,
The extra stuff.
Yeah.
but now he's not.
Well, you help Jason.
Yeah, I'm helping Jason now.
I don't-
it's
I
not
don't-
that I'm not
No,
interested.
it's-
It's just that I'm helping Jason.
Just that Jason pays more, evidently.
No, that's good. Jason's probably more fun to hang out with on a weekend. No,
I don't know. Have you watched their videos?
I have watched some. Yes.
I think that there's probably some of that. Yeah. There's definitely more back and forth between Ray and Jay than there would be with you, Jamie.
Yeah. I don't know what you
Yeah.
mean by that, but whatever.
The
Back and forth.
back and forth. Well, we're already somewhat started on this. Started bringing in Ray here. So Ray, we're gonna, as part of this, venture into learning who the Perkins Builder Brothers team is and the parts of the team. You're the third installation. We call Arlo the first installation, even though he's twice removed or whatever. So
Golly, this is complicated.
yeah, it is. So we'll, but Jono was a big hit. Everybody wanted to learn more about Jono, and I think there's a big Ray fan club out there too.
Oh yeah.
Some haters as well. There's everybody's got haters.
They're beard jealous.
Their beard what?
Beard jealous. They're beer envy. Beard.
Oh, beard. They're
yeah.
jealous.
Yeah.
The
The haters are just
Oh yeah.
jealous of the
Well,
beard.
I mean, a hater's gonna hate.
Look
so.
at Jamie.
Yeah.
He can't grow two whiskers.
All right. Appreciate that.
You've got that. No, you've got that 5 o'clock shadow thing
I
going
appreciate
on.
that. That's the only kind of look I go for.
Yeah, it's nice.
Little scruff, little rough.
Sounds good.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Ray Jones. That's a good radio name.
Is it?
It is.
Never been told that before.
You may never hear it again.
Yeah.
Ray Jones. How did you get? How and when did you get started with the Perkins Builder Brothers?
Well, I think I've been working for you guys for about 6 years, maybe 7. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. But
I don't
Yeah.
know either. By the
Do
way.
you remember the house?
the house, yeah. It was in Cherokee.
Yeah. I already forgot about that one.
Yeah. I don't really know what we were calling it back
like the big
then.
white farmhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was called the Farmhouse.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was before YouTube and all that.
Oh, was
yeah,
it?
yeah,
okay.
it was
Oh,
totally
okay. Never mind.
before
Different
you
one
two.
then.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one was Uriah's house. The one maybe you're thinking of
Yeah,
up on the
correct.
mountain.
There is one called the Farmhouse, I think.
Yeah,
That's
it.
probably what it was.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So this
Yeah.
was before YouTube. You got started with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So I just gotten married. Me and my wife were in New Hampshire at the time, coming down here to move down here right after we got married. And I had some friends up there who had family down here. And one of them actually worked with the Perkins. So he got me in touch with the family down here, and then I started talking to him. He started talking to Jamie about him. I eventually talked to Jamie on the phone and just was like, hey, I'm looking for a job. And he was like, sure, we'll try you out for 4
I
weeks.
actually remember talking to him. He was like, "Hey, you looking for any help right now?" I was like, "Nah, not really." I was like, "But come on over anyway."
I was
Jason's
put
a
on
nice
like
guy.
a 4-week probation. So
a trial period.
Yeah.
You know?
trial
Well,
period,
you know, when somebody
probation.
calls you out of the blue, you don't know who they are. You can't just commit to a full-time, forever commitment, you know, not knowing anything about anybody. So I say, yeah, come on down. You sound like a good guy. Let's go to work.
Was he that chill when he
And
called
see
and
how it
asked for a
goes.
job?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super
He was just
chill.
like chill. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, this is Ray Jones.
Yeah.
Did he have a beard?
Maybe a little baby beard.
Yeah, probably like Ben's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have a baby beard.
Okay, baby meaning just short
It's
in
thick.
nature.
Look how thick it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It is. Your beard is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never hear you say that.
Yeah. No, there you go. And it is, too. I'm not just making that up. The color of it, the thickness, the way you trim it.
Okay, that's getting weird.
going on right here.
Little variation in color.
Can we get Ben a beard sponsor?
You better. No, Ray needs the beard.
Well,
I told him we were going to try to. I said,
As promised. This
this
is
the
my
drywall
drywall.
girl?
You should
This
just
is
take the
my
call.
drywall.
all right, well, you take it. I'll talk to.
Go
I'll
ahead.
talk to Ray.
All
Why no?
no,
Just
go
take it
ahead.
right here.
Well,
Take
I don't
it
know
off.
what he's going to say.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yellow. Hey, man, what's going on?
I mean, this is real life.
Oh,
It is real
yeah.
life.
You guys heading up the mountain there?
Longer than we
I
thought.
wanted to see is
I wonder
if
if
he
the driveway
changed-
is going to be all nasty.
I bet it is. It
Oh, yeah.
rained hard
I
last
did.
night, so
What
That
I
was
wanted
a-
to see is if he changed his voice.
Oh.
Because that guy's he's
No,
got
I
a
think it's
southern
his.
accent for sure.
Sounds the same. The so with the what were we just talking about? It was
Moving
the,
down here, getting the job,
yeah.
calling him.
yeah.
Yeah. So you
Putting
had called.
on-
So you had that trial period,
Right.
He said it was 4 weeks. Or
Yeah,
did
he
tell
told
you?
me. He told me 4 weeks whenever I talked to him on the phone. So really, I didn't have really any experience in construction. I did in painting though, and they were in the painting phase of that house. So that's kind of why he brought me on to kind of help finish the painting. And
Were you a painter? Like is
I
that your-
painted for a year.
Okay.
So I had experience painting.
Okay.
Yeah, we finished that house off, moved on to the next one. 4 weeks passed by, I didn't hear anything, so I just kept showing up to work pretty much. And probably about 2 months into it, he eventually was like, yeah, so I guess you kind of figured out we'd like to kind of keep you on.
You've got a job.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, I just kept coming to work, whatever, you know.
There you go.
So, yep, that's
And he kept
kinda
paying
how-
you. And
yeah.
there it is. And here you are. It was said, oh look, he's
Okay,
back.
I am so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am back now.
That's
It's a
a
good
go.
thing I took that phone call, though, and I wouldn't normally do that in the middle of a podcast, but listen, it's a weekday and I'm a contractor. So the guy delivering the drywall actually didn't have the correct address. So it's a good thing
wow.
he couldn't figure it. It was like, this is not pulling up.
You better have full-wheel
Does
drive.
it pull up on GPS?
Not really.
Yeah.
So-
I was gonna say I don't know that it actually.
Where we're working is a made up address because
Right.
we don't actually have a legit 911 assigned address, which I think by now we should, but we don't.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry, I missed out. What'd I miss?
We just finished up the trial period talk
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah,
How how there was never really a finite. All right, you're hired until like he said he just kept coming to work.
Just, I
and
mean, if you keep showing up, he's still doing that.
Some people are going to hear that and they're just going to start showing up to your job site and working.
Be quiet. Be quiet. No.
They'd have to find it. There's no address.
Yeah, there's no real address. No, he did great. He passed the trial with flying colors, and he was a cool guy, and that counts too. So he wasn't a jerk or anything like that, you know. So I mean, look, if somebody's really good at their job, but they're a jerk,
Right.
I don't want to be hanging out all day.
I
every
mean,
day at
you
work.
guys, there's a pretty good atmosphere amongst the crew of being able to banter back and forth a little bit, take
Yeah.
some jabs. How long do you feel like it takes to feel comfortable doing that, like with Jamie and Eric?
I don't know.
Is that just it's just sort of build over time?
I do it some with Jamie and Eric. I think a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as
obviously.
much as I do with Jason.
Right.
But Jason does it all the time to everybody,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just a lot more comfortable to just give it back to him.
Right.
and, tease him. So, but I mean, I think we all do it to each other.
I think it's a good atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, it creates a good camaraderie feel
That
for
keeps
sure.
it fun.
Yeah, because not everybody, it's not like anybody gets offended, or if they do, they don't say anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's harder to do it to Jamie and Eric because they're your boss. So you're kind of like,
whatever. It's no big deal. Give me your best shot. No, I'm very hard to be offended, pretty much, in that regard. Just busting each other, all day. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Do you think, with Ray having painting experience, did you hire him, did you want somebody with painting experience?
Well, yeah. I mean, and he came in right during paint on the first job where he was, new. And there was lots of painting to do, and I was glad to see him doing it, and not me. Although I love to paint.
He says this all the time. He's always saying that he loves to paint, but I don't.
I do. Dude.
I hardly ever see him do it.
I mean, Jamie, I remember you teaching me how to paint. I think it was maybe at your house. I don't know. Probably where it was about how to use a roller.
Yep.
Always lead with the same edge.
There you go.
Well,
it's because I'm picky too.
When you distribute the paint, you need to. So
you don't do like you see on the commercials for these fancy paint brands where there's a big blank wall, and then they grab the roller and do like a giant W across, a 5 foot wide part of the wall. You don't do that. Who does that? I've even. Well, I mean, there's. Man, my phone is ringing again.
Is it the same guy?
No, it's not, but it's probably the drywall people. Anyway.
Well, do you need to get it? Here.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Keep it interesting. Okay? Doing a good job. I'll be right back.
This is the first, folks. This is the first. The second now. With painting, Ray, what do you still like to paint?
I've never liked to paint. That's kind of the misconception.
So you're not the paint guy.
I mean, I am, but I don't like to do it. I don't think anybody really likes to do it.
Oh, Jamie does.
Well, I mean,
ask him. He does.
Well,
what's the worst part about painting?
I think it's just like. Well, I end up being the cut guy.
Yeah.
Because I have experience.
Now, explain that as it relates to painting, though, because that's different than you are the cut guy.
Right. Yeah.
On the job
cut
site.
Guy being cutting in the walls to the ceiling or to the trim or places where you can't get with a roller.
Yeah. So your hands don't shake a lot, is what you're saying. So you're the cut guy.
I mean, yeah. So that kind of requires a lot of focus.
Yeah.
Constant focus. So it's kind of hard to kind of be involved with everything kind of going on and everybody else around you whenever you're just kind of constantly focused on trying to cut everything in. So there's just something about it that's just so tedious that just kind of sometimes it puts you in a bad mood. But
y'all think about painting?
We're
sounds like it went south here. Painting is supposed to be fun.
We're getting deep Jamie, over here. We're getting into serious conversation about
what are my true thoughts about painting
and moods. Do you listen to music when you paint?
I usually try to. Yeah.
What are you listening to?
I'm kind of a indie guy, so
okay.
Indie folk kind of stuff. So.
Yeah,
indie folk. I tried to convince him to bring his mandolin to play.
I know, I did too this morning. But I was like, I knew, I was like, Ruff is like, does he really play it? I don't know if he has. And he said,
Jamie thinks that I do play it, but I really don't. Like I mentioned that I played it to him like whenever I first started working with him, and like the truth is like I bought one and I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to play it. And I kind of did, I learned chords and whatever. And, I could play some songs and then kind of lost interest and haven't touched the thing in 6 or 7 years.
If you picked it up right now, you couldn't play a song probably.
I don't remember any of the chords.
There you go.
You know what?
So, no pressure.
I mean, I could probably pick it up and, look up some chords and get it, right after a couple hours. But
Yeah.
Jamie teases me all the time
Look,
about it. So
I don't know if there's anybody else trying to convince him to play this mandolin. And that, I feel like is an important thing for me to do.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
There's definitely
Okay.
some fans from the YouTube channel that have, from the Perkins Builder Brothers, that have, there's some comments about mandolin in there
Oh yeah.
mixed in. I mean, infrequently, because I think it's one of those mysterious things. It's like, does he really, or is it just a joke? You know?
So to settle it,
I think he could be encouraged.
the answer is yes.
So there you go. You want more encouragement for...
I think he just wants it for Ray.
Maybe I'll pick it
There
up.
you go. Is that such a bad thing?
No, he just wants it for Ray. It's like,
Okay,
hey,
well-
Ray.
Well, especially
All right.
since Max plays the banjo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
yeah.
I mean, there could be a Perkins Builder Brothers band almost.
Oh,
you know?
there absolutely could.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
what's Jason going to play? The bongos?
Yeah, for
bass.
sure.
No, he's going to play bass.
He's going to play
Have you
bass.
seen him play air bass guitar? He's good at it. He's pretty good at it. All right, well, so Ray, I continue to tell you to play your mandolin because I enjoy playing my guitar.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me. And I think, well, you could have that much fun playing your mandolin.
He's just looking
And if
at
you're
it.
not, then I think you're missing out.
Okay.
So-
I'll have to pick it up. I'll pick it up soon.
If you can't do it for you, do it for me.
I'll pick it up soon.
There you go.
There you go.
That's one reason to do it.
And then if you don't like it, you can throw it away.
Yeah, they just got to get rid of that thing.
No, just hang it. You just hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, mandolins are pretty.
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, that way everybody can ask, "Oh, you play the mandolin?" You'd be like, "No."
Yeah.
I mean,
decoration.
I'm pretty sure I have a guitar in my basement that's never
Yeah.
been played.
Yeah. Yeah. You just be like, it went with the beard, so I hung it on the wall.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, everybody compares the beard to ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Billy, is
Especially
it
when
Billy
I have-
Gibbons.
I don't even
think-
know.
I think that's
just
the
hear
name
it.
I saw thrown out there
Ray,
most.
Ray gets stopped on the street because people, they recognize his beard.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like, I know that beard. I know that beard. And then they're like, hey, it's Ray. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's digging through some of those old comments early this morning when I was trying to get prep for this. But there was like, I think I saw, there was definitely multiple, ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons references. There was Viking, like Viking reference, like Ragnar Lothbrok or something like that. That was on one of these shows.
Vikings have beards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know?
There was what else was there? Gosh, there was Mad Max was thrown out. This we could
Y'all
do.
keep saying this Mad Max stuff. What is he so mad about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then there's off of Yellowstone, this show that was just they say somebody said you look like Jimmy from Yellowstone without a beard.
Oh, without
though.
a beard. Yeah,
Without
I
a
could see
beard.
that.
I
Yeah,
definitely
I
I
could see
saw
that.
that one. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, without a beard, he does look like Jimmy from Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But you don't even know what Yellowstone is.
Man, y'all lost me a long time ago.
This is why Jamie's so in tune with everything else. It's like he doesn't watch anything.
I don't watch TV anymore.
Right.
Not that those are TV shows, but I wouldn't know if they were.
I mean,
Are they?
Some of them are, some of them are
Okay.
movies. Movies and TV.
I don't have satellite TV anymore.
well, not many people do, but
I would like to just zone out and watch TV, but I don't. So
yeah. But
You do,
anyway,
it's just on your phone. It's just YouTube. It's
Yeah.
a different medium.
that's right.
there's so many comparisons for what Ray is. He's got many different seasons of people you look like. So
Yeah.
if anything falls through with the Builder Brothers, you've always got a backup as a stunt double.
Oh, nice.
For multiple different shows.
Maybe they should be Ray's stunt double.
Maybe.
Well, maybe
They could come paint.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that would be nice.
A stand-in painter
Yeah.
that looks like you. That'd be epic. That'd be really fun.
Well, Ray, I hope you didn't come to work for us just to be a painter. I don't think you did
No.
because obviously there's a lot more to it now that you do.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
every part of the building, every phase of building a house is basically what each of us are doing
Yeah.
all the time. So
Yeah.
is there a part? Did we land on you hate painting? Is that what? Because I missed that part when I was taking another phone
I don't
call.
know that he used the word hate, but
Okay.
He said nobody likes it. And I actually
No,
said
Okay.
Jamie does.
except Jamie, apparently.
Okay,
but-
well, I still love it. I'm standing by that. And I also like to listen to music if I can while I'm painting. I was going to say that there's not a lot of jobs on the job site, tasks, I guess, where you can just zone out and put in earbuds.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to talk to other people. So painting is one of those things you could, hey, I'm going to be doing this for a while. I don't need to talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. You can enjoy music.
let's bring up Brock and Alexis's house. I mean,
Yeah.
who's going to paint it?
Well, the guys think I'm hiring a painter. They think that if they say it enough times that will be the truth. But I think that we're going to paint it. And I'm hoping to dip my brush on this job. Get my roller going up and down the walls.
Rediscover your passion there.
Well,
I mean, if you don't paint it, it's going to take forever. What would you have the guys do?
Well, yeah, we need to do something.
Yeah,
well, okay, let me say this: the siding is already installed and it's pre-painted. We painted it on the ground with a paint sprayer. It's installed. It needs its final coat of paint. So we're painting the outside. Okay, we're doing that. All right, and then we have a bunch of materials to put in on the porch ceilings, which is all tongue and groove material, and it's getting pre-finished. Oh, and all the material that goes inside the house on the ceilings, that's all one batch. So normally we would stain and clear coat tongue and groove ceiling material in my shop. And this time we're not.
That's
so
nice.
there you go.
Yeah.
Wish granted.
No, I think we're all happy about that.
No, I'm happy.
Is that a decent trade-off, Ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if you had to, I think I've said this before, but when you're in high school, and they try to give you like these surveys to see what kind of job you might like when you're grown up. Mm-hmm. Do you remember doing any of those?
Yeah.
Like a job survey? I don't know what it's called, job survey.
Sure.
Anyway, they kind of match maybe your personality, your likes and your dislikes with the type of job that may be suitable for you. I must have checked yes to the enjoys repetition or repeating tasks or whatever that is, because I like doing things like over and over. It doesn't bother me, I guess, anyway. Like finishing boards is what I'm getting at. Yeah. When we finish boards in the shop, and I love to watch Ray finish boards. He's really good at it. I'm always jealous because I want to paint them, but he always does it for me.
Do you remember? There was a video one time. There's a video out there somewhere that was like, we were painting boards for one of the farmhouses or one of the rentals.
Yeah. And
it was like everybody had different technique and like the dip and flats.
Oh, yeah.
And you're rolling back and forth, and you and Ray were painting. It was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a little different method.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, anyway, yeah. So this quantity of material in Brock and Alexis' house, it's off the charts compared to what we would normally do, right? For an accent ceiling of wood, we would maybe have, I don't know, a couple hundred boards maybe.
Yeah.
This house has maybe 800, 900 boards that make up all the ceiling material. So that's three times more at least than a standard house. And the other day, Alexis was like, hey, how long does the drywall take? Like 2 weeks? And I was like, no, that's what normal houses take. Maybe is 2 weeks. It's like yours is going to be like double, triple that.
Yeah.
So the amount of time that we have waiting for drywall to get installed is a little while. And that's why we took the side job with the deck and all that.
Oh, is it going to take that many weeks, you think, to do that side job?
No, but hopefully our pre-finished material for the ceilings will be done.
Oh, okay.
In a time that we can still work outside for quite a while.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, have you seen the place? You've been there.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's hard to describe.
There's a lot.
It's going to take us a while.
Yeah.
But Ray can't wait to get started on that woodworking up high, overhead work. He loves it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can have you done the decking
No.
No, okay.
No, we haven't done the decking because we're going to be putting scaffold on the temporary deck surface.
You don't want to scratch it up.
Yeah, that's right. So in case we have never said this, we probably we do the deck framing. And then instead of moving right to putting the finished decking down, we just screw down like zip plywood, basically, OSB. And we use that for a temporary walking surface for, however long it takes to get the ceilings done, to get the siding on, to get all that painted. And then the decking is literally one of the last things we put down.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get some expensive decking put down, somebody scratches it.
Yeah. I was thinking about this last time I was up there because it was muddy, because it's muddy up there.
Yep.
And we've had a lot of rain. You're going to soft wash their house?
Probably.
Before you turn it over to them?
Probably.
Like, yeah.
It needs to be clean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just like you can see like just the dirt splatter up on the siding and things like that. Like,
it is.
It's just like
that is a problem. Near this point, we're beyond the point of needing to be out of the mud.
Yeah.
We're past that point because when you put up clean painted siding and then the ground is just mud and it rains and all that mud splats on the siding, now you've got red clay mud siding on a brand new house.
I don't know if everybody understands how frustrating red clay is. I'm sure
it sticks.
It sticks. It runs really, like, as far as like, runoff wise, it like really there's so many like gullies that are created and like silt deposits all over the place, and just like, and nothing will grow in it hardly. It's hard to get.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
This house is the biggest we've ever done. It has the most exposed earth, dirt
Red
around
clay.
the site. It has it needs some work.
Yeah.
It needs some work. We need to get out of the mud, especially when we start working inside the house. Now that's really when we say, hey, we need out of the mud now, because you don't want to be walking in and out like every time you walk to your truck.
Right.
Dude, I walk to my truck, I don't know how many times a day, because I'm talking on the phone. But anyway, imagine if I was doing real work and needing to go to my truck for something and then walk back in the house. This is why are we doing this, you know? So we need gravel. But the thing is, gravel is expensive, and we need like a lot of truckloads of it.
Yeah, and you don't want it to just disappear right when you pour it out, and drive on it. So
there you go.
That's another step in the wrong of the ladder. Things to do, right? Mm-hmm. One of my questions I had for you, Ray, was, what is your least favorite thing to do on the job site? And you might have answered that.
I would say painting.
Yeah. Okay. Painting is it.
Yeah.
What?
It's my least
Rather
favorite.
dig ditches and just muck around in the mud. And
I don't know.
siding. You've been doing siding for like 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing siding and stuff like that, even though we've been doing it for 2 months. I think just anything that's like busy like that we can just keep going and going and going. Like, I just like to try to stay busy, and the busier tasks are probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Like flooring. I like doing flooring. But Jaime doesn't like doing flooring. But
Not as much as you.
yeah. I mean, even though like you're on your hands and knees and whatever, like it's just busy work, and so
Yeah.
I kind of like doing that sort of stuff.
I mean, my follow up is like, what is your favorite thing to do, in this process on the job site? But I mean, stay busy sounds like a good general part, but
Yeah. I mean, to me, my favorite part is framing. I mean, just because that's another thing where you're just staying busy, and it's a little bit different than siding or flooring, because I mean, you're building different walls, and each one is different. So you kind of have to think a little bit, and it changes up each time. So
Yeah, framing is a lot of people's favorite, I think. And I think Eric would say the same thing, because you get to see the thing be built, like it went from not existing to existing right in front of you. So that's pretty satisfying to watch. I would say framing is like the most physically demanding part of the job. And but it's good busy work too. There's lots of thinking, lots of material moving, lots of, hey, cut this, it's this number, and then you how many of those, and then you're kind of coming and going. It's almost like, no, I've never been a waiter in a restaurant, but it's almost like being a waiter and taking orders. And I mean, that's what you're doing, except you're cutting boards. And so you got to kind of be, on your toes. Things are coming and going fast.
do you think would you say that Ray's the cut guy? Not talking about paint, but like, if somebody's going to be cutting boards, is it Ray? Or is it Jono?
Ray can do any of it. And, it depends. I don't know.
Because when I'm up there, sometimes it's Ray, sometimes it's Jono. Maybe it just depends on the project.
I think most of the time, like it's either me or Jono.
I say it's never Jason.
Yeah, Jason. I don't know if he just doesn't like to be cut guy or what, but yeah, it's usually Jono kind of defaults to him most of the time, and then when he's not there or he's working on something else, like kind of defaults to me. Not really sure why that started happening, but it just kind of happened.
Whoever just naturally likes doing certain parts of framing, we don't have a set like, hey, you're cut guy only, you're nail 2x4s together only, you're transport material only guy, except for Max. No, just kidding.
I was gonna say,
he's the new guy. I have to bust on him. No, he's learning the ropes right now, so it's my job to teach him. So we just, wherever people seem to fall in and make the best progress or be in the easiest rhythm of working, you know. And I would say unofficially, Jono fell into being cut guy and replaced Arlo's cut guy position.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. Jono gets satisfaction out of cutting stuff perfectly. He really does.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and this is not to knock Jono. This is a compliment that he likes things to be perfect, and he won't send it out. He won't wham bam cut it without looking or paying attention. Send it to you.
Yeah,
it will be precise. And sometimes precision takes a little more time.
Didn't he say he was a little afraid of heights too, or something?
I don't know. I don't think he loves being on a super high thing any more than anybody, but maybe less than. I don't know. I don't know if any of us like it, but at any rate, it'll be cut right. It'll be accurate and precise. And this is a topic sometime for a little discussion. Maybe not now. I don't know.
Yeah.
The topic is when to use your precision.
Okay.
And when to use your speed. And there can be combinations of both. But learning to distinguish when is the most appropriate priority, you know, of those.
Yeah.
And how you can be efficient.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like something we could talk about.
That might be all there is to it. That might be the whole discussion right there. But I could give you some examples.
But
later.
I think there's more because there's so many different jobs as to where that's applicable, and maybe some that are not.
And there's a scale. There's a sliding scale of when, of like the remodel job down here versus like a brand new house that, you know, we're trying to achieve as perfect as possible.
I've seen several comments and emails and things that people question, why don't you guys ever use a compound miter saw? You literally build a whole house with a skill saw.
You want me to answer that, or you just want to mention
maybe Ray can answer it. No, I'm just kidding. But
let Ray answer it. We didn't bring him in for nothing.
Yeah, I don't know the answer other than we just don't ever have one at the job site.
Yeah,
there you go. No, we don't. What about for your own projects at home? Because that's really where the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're doing it for yourself, by yourself, what do you do?
I usually use a miter saw, I think.
Right. Wrong answer. Delete that part.
I mean, just because it's it's in my garage. It's there.
Set up in your garage or the workstation.
All right. Wrong answer, Ray.
Why'd you let me answer?
He looks so disappointed.
No, I get that.
Is your phone ringing
again? I need to text Jason and tell him. So this is our LP siding delivery for his Build It Jay's Way. See, I get roped into being involved because his order of siding in the delivery for that. The guy is probably sitting at his house right now, and they're calling me.
Jay's asleep.
I'm gonna text Jason.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll text Jason.
Yeah.
You text Jason. All right. Tell him siding delivery guy is
calling you,
and I'm gonna text you his number. The delivery guy. Good. I'm gonna text you that. So, and I'm gonna, while I'm staring at my phone.
Yeah, you're gonna tell us about why you don't use a compound miter saw.
Well, there's a lot of times when it's easier to bring the saw to the material than to bring the material to the saw.
Okay.
And that is a big decision. That is a big factor in deciding what type of saw you're going to use. Okay. So that's the whole point.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Ray, does it take, was it challenging to, I feel like cutting with a circular saw is definitely harder for me, especially when it comes to some of the trim cuts you guys have to do or rips, or not that you do that with a compound miter saw, but did it take you some time to get comfortable doing that, or you just fall right in?
It definitely took me a while to get comfortable with it. Like I said, I didn't have really much experience in construction when I started working with them. So I probably only used a circular saw a few times in my life before then. So I remember the first time I cut a board on the job site, I really didn't know any tips or tricks or anything like that.
Just cut it.
So I had to learn a lot from these guys.
Setting the depth on the saw, and all
or
stuff.
Just
some people do that,
or just what side of the line to cut on, never really thought about that. Just very basic things, just didn't really even know
which end of the saw to hold.
Yeah. I mean, was construction of interest, like just an interest of yours at all? Like in high school, like at post high school, any of that stuff? Like
it wasn't until, I mean, really right before I started working with them. Like whenever I thought about the idea of construction, it was like, I don't know anything really about it hardly, and it would be fun to kind of learn, what all goes into it. So, I mean, I was pretty interested in it whenever I started working with them. But yeah, I mean, growing up, like didn't really have too much interest in it. Just wasn't really around it to.
Yeah. If you wouldn't have gotten, if you wouldn't have taken that job and stuck with it, like what do you think you'd be doing right now? Was there, what was your vision of what you'd be doing? I don't know that I have one.
I don't know.
Do you have one?
What, for me or for him?
Well, I mean, for you, any of us, like if we weren't doing what we're doing right now, like what do we,
I've asked Ray this before about do you really want to be building, or like just off the record, is there any other thing you really want to be doing, And he said computer stuff, because he's really good at computers.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe you can expound on that.
Yeah. So,
that's a good point.
I mean, I'm just interested in technology in general. And I think when it's probably after a year working with you guys, Jaime kind of asked me that question. And I was kind of thinking about maybe going back to school, because I had kind of gotten an interest into coding. So
coding, could you just for me and maybe anybody else listening, what is coding?
Well, like me generally, like I was kind of interested in developing programs or apps and software. So I wanted to.
Coding is it's a language.
Yeah, it's a language.
Lost me.
Yeah. So I had already kind of at that time, like what I was trying to do was I wanted to build an app for a phone and smartwatch, and I wanted to do this for myself at the time to help me with managing my diabetes. So I had kind of started taking like some free online courses and stuff like that just to kind of get started in it. And
now free onlines, that's like part of an air conditioning system, right?
No.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
So, I mean, that would be something that, I guess, if I saw myself doing something else, it would be that.
Yeah. I can see that.
So
I do feel like that Ray is the go-to IT guy of the crew, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Eric's pretty versed in it as well.
Eric's
but
pretty good. Yeah.
I don't call Eric when I have a problem with my computer. Not that he couldn't be helpful, but Ray definitely. When I got weird, I couldn't even I was gonna take a screenshot of my phone and circle something with the little highlighter thing, and I was like, dude, help me out, bro. Like, you're doing this for me, and he knows how to do it. But well, anyway,
yeah.
Actually, the computer that I use for my for work, where I draw and SketchUp and things like that, it was Ray's computer.
Gotcha.
So he when he was doing a bunch more video editing in the past, which I don't even really know how to do, but so anyway, yeah, he's a computer guy and he's really smart with it. So
yeah, I get that.
We don't all have to be smart with computers when you got somebody that is.
Right, there you go.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah, that makes it a valuable member, of the team for sure. I think to have that technology.
Can you repeat
piece.
that for Ben, so Ben hears what you just said?
Not everybody has to be a computer guy. Is that what I said?
It is.
Well, I was going to compare you to Brett in the fact that you're like, you're like the grandpa that, needs to be told how to use the technology, because that's what Brett is.
Okay.
At work,
Fair enough.
it's like,
well,
I'm not a grandpa, but I am old.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think I could definitely take some computer lessons, maybe some tutoring or something. I tell you what, if there's one thing I wish I could do on a computer, it would be using some, business software like QuickBooks or something. I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's really fast, judging by the name of it, and I like that. No, I don't know. Just to keep track of like money for jobs, spending.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, I do it, you know,
Oh, we should just
old school style.
We should bring in your notebook one day.
I
You,
mean,
you talk about it like it's such a foreign concept.
We should
You
show
know,
and
like
tell
this
your
is like
notebook.
new technology that's been out since the mid 90s
Yeah.
or before.
look, I know.
You've gotten better though with computers since you started using SketchUp.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. SketchUp has been helpful.
SketchUp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really put me ahead. And some software I use for my
Well, there's a lot. I mean,
for
sound equippment's gotten a lot
that
more
too.
digital than when you first started, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like the mixer board, you know, stuff. Even the one we're using here today is digital. It's a computer with a, you know, it's just a computer made for doing sound. The thing you were talking about doing code. Now I don't know anything about code. It looks gibberish, right? When you write it out,
pretty much.
I don't know how that turns into something that makes sense at all.
wow, you're not.
If you've ever seen code, but Ray is going to be using a CNC machine here soon.
Oh, right.
And maybe he already is. I don't know.
Not
you got
yet.
it. You got it fired up yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I had a small CNC machine, and I didn't use it a whole lot, and so I wanted Ray to have it. And that is very computer heavy, running a CNC. And if you get really fancy, like writing code for for websites or something, I don't know if it's similar in understanding a language outside of normal, but writing the language that the computer uses to move and operate a CNC machine, I think is very much like the code that you're talking about.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think he's going to be good at it.
Yeah. I don't.
Better than me.
Right.
Because I think his brain can figure that stuff out. His aptitude is higher.
Not quite the same as what you do use to build a website as you do to program a machine, but
Okay.
yeah, I think they're different.
For people that may listen and they actually know how to operate CNC machines and diagnose things and make them work, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the, I mean, there's just, you know, whatever, society in general, jobs in general, there's a lot more technology being interwoven into the day to day. And, you know, that's maybe Ray could be like, do you feel like that AI has a play in the construction world, Ray?
Yeah. I mean,
And AI, I mean, artificial intelligence.
yeah, I mean, I've seen some AI construction like type things out there advertised. So, I mean, we'll see as it kind of takes off, like what all it can do to help with it.
And I think that's great for, you know, you guys to have somebody that's like keeping an eye on that, because it's not, you know, not that you're necessarily going to bring it in and just start doing all this like AI integration into your job, but and I highly doubt that you are, because but it's just, you know, I'm very much a proponent of you being informed about what's happening so you don't get behind. You know, just even if you don't choose to use it, you know what's happening at other job sites or the technology that's out there and available to use. And, you know, I think AI's got a lot of interesting, you know, aspects to how it could be integrated into a construction site. But there's also things that's like, you know, I don't know that I see robots building, you know, custom homes anytime soon, but there's other people that disagree. So,
well, I mean, there are robots that can lay bricks now,
right?
Like big, tall buildings. You know, there's 3D printed concrete houses all over the place now. I think that's becoming pretty.
I saw one yesterday that is it's a robot roofer.
Oh yeah,
Lays down
like
shingles. Yep.
Actually places shingles. Yeah.
Places them, nails them down, and moves on to the next one. Just picks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see, like, as far as, I mean, in the next couple of years, really, it's more like integration. You know, when you talk about your books, numbers, any of that data set stuff like that is like very, you can have AI work for you and help, you know, help
if I could
with
just be
stuff.
like, hey, AI, we spent a ton of money today. Do we have any left? You know, and it could just tell me, no.
Oh, it would probably tell you.
No, I know.
It could do that.
I mean, there are programs where, you know, you could do takeoffs on material, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like if you have a drawing and be like, how many 2x4s of what length will it take to build this? And, you know, it could probably spit that answer out or whatever. Or does this configuration of framing for this application, and you would have to describe it in detail, pass a certain building code? Or
Right, code could be,
you know, things like that. Maybe I don't know.
Using it at least look up code and interpret code would be.
There you go, Ray.
Would be good.
There's your $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Go write it really quick.
I actually do have I've got to talk to you about, I have to look up the name of it. I can't remember it, but there's a new platform out there that is an AI coding platform, but you can, they started integrating this thing where you can basically talk to it in English, and it will take your English, what you want to happen, and put it into the code that you need to build the program out of. And it's like if you know a little bit of code and that, it like helps a lot, because it's like the things you don't know, it can help like point you in the right direction. So it's
so for just people like me that don't use AI, like I know that my phone probably uses AI without me asking it to when I do searches for things or use voice commands or something like that. How do you specifically use AI like on purpose? Say, I'm going to use AI to do, like, do you have to have a certain app for every type of?
Well, the most common, I would say right now, is ChatGPT.
I've heard of that
platform. And it's just, you can go to their website. I don't know if they have an app. I'm sure they do, but there is an app. They have an app. You can say, this was, if you wanted to go to that platform and say, draw me, a 3-bedroom house on, with this different things, like it could do that.
Okay.
Like, I started introducing it to my kid because I heard somebody else talking about it, like how to like get your kid introduced. And then it's like just the idea of that, like going forward, because it's going to be very much more a part of his life than it is mine. It's like, he was like, I was like, what do you want to draw? What do you want this? He's just like using his creative mind to be like, and it was like, we ended up with like a blue donkey eating a carrot on a farm,
Yeah.
So, and it's like, it takes us a little bit of time, depends on how many people are using it, but there it is. It's like, it draws this like cartoon of a blue donkey, and then we were like, they did it in pieces. It was like blue donkey. And I was like, what do you want it to do now? He's like, I wanted to eat a carrot. So I like said, eating a carrot.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I use it almost regularly on the, daily. I try to use it to help. But even when I was like, we were throwing out hot sauce name ideas for Perkins, I was typing in hot sauce, hot sauce name for a building company.
Yeah.
And then you can narrow it. Because it'll say, do you want it spicy? You want it funny? You want it like it'll, do you want to pun? So all those, it's an interesting take.
It is very weird to think about the AI stuff.
Yeah,
that those answers, they don't exist out there till you ask for them necessarily. I mean, in the very specific way that you're asking for, but they exist in general. I don't know. It's hard to think about. It's like thinking about outer space to me.
It is.
I know that I've seen people like say, all right, AI, write me a song about this topic in the voice of this famous singer and in this style of music. And then boom, it'll spit out a song. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
Some people use it to write a book. So whenever you start writing your book, you know, you can use that to help write. I mean, and there's different platforms besides ChatGPT that focus on different aspects of, some of them focus more on writing than just being in general. So, because it's more than a search engine. It's not just like, it's not Google, so, but it can
Google,
do.
Yeah. Google with AI, I think just in the past couple of weeks or something, they now are able to do like a 10-second video and you can be as descriptive as you want and just, it'll create, I think it's only limited to 10 seconds right now, but I've tested it and it's pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different. So, and like for one of the first times, the Let Jaime Talk shirt, the Perkins Builder Brothers with like the Star Wars text on the back, I used it for that because I needed a bunch of text that, to make it look like that. So I asked it, I said, give me I think I said a 500, 1,000 word essay on being a contractor.
No way.
And
I haven't read it. I have that shirt, and I actually wondered one day. I was like, I wonder what that actually says.
Yeah, I did proof it and read it, so it
doesn't say anything too wacky.
Yeah,
we've been watching Star Wars at home. My boys are wanting to watch Star Wars, so I thought about it the other night, just recently.
Yeah, Anyway, we can. It's a topic for another day, but it's the first time.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, we're getting way off Ray here into the AI weeds.
Well,
but,
that's y'all's computer people.
well, I mean, I think Ray's going to be the one that keeps you guys up on it for sure. If Eric doesn't, but
Yeah, I did help Eric with, like, I don't know if he's still doing it, but like I realized that you could tell it to watch y'all's videos and then say, give me a 100-word description of it, and it would. And I showed that to Eric, and for a while, I don't know if he's still doing it. He was using that as the description in the videos. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about that kind of stuff, actually.
right.
So I'm pretty useless when it comes to that part. But Ray actually has done some pre-editing and actual editing for Builder Brothers too. When some stuff needs to get condensed and Eric is overloaded with stuff to do related to all that stuff, he'll drop all those videos to Ray, and Ray will go ahead and chop it down and get it closer to.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, Ray's behind the camera sometimes as well.
Oh yeah, he's a great camera guy.
I mean, it's so he plays.
He's the go-to cameraman. Third, right?
He gets the shot. That's all I know. I don't worry about it. He gets the shot.
He gets the shot.
Yeah, I mean, just the other day, I had to get a time-lapse shot of me on my computer drawing a thing in SketchUp, and so I needed like the perfect shot. I mean, we're not messing around. The shot's got to be just right. So I can't take the shot and do the computer thing same. So Ray got the shot. It's perfect. You'll see it.
Did you call him specifically for that?
Oh yeah.
You were just at home on SketchUp, and you're like, Ray, come over.
I was at the job site.
I was on the job site.
Well, and it is the kind of funny thing we do. At least I think it's funny. But anytime Ray gets a shot like that, and also a lot of times I'll ask. I take some social media pictures for my Naked Prosthetics device there. So anyway, I always get Ray to get the shot, and then I announce it at the loudest voice I can after Ray gets the shot to the whole job site, just as a thing that we do.
Yeah.
Ray got the shot. So I say it really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, does a good job.
That's going on your T-shirt, Ray.
Yeah.
Ray got the shot.
Ray got the
Nice.
shot.
It's ZZ Top Ray on the front, and then Ray got the shot on the back.
The requirements for somebody to be a good, I'll just say a worker or a good person on our job site is not just are you good at building or can you take direction or whatever. Because the whole YouTube thing, you have to be like in tune with it, and you have to kind of like it too. Because if you didn't like that part for some reason, it'd probably wear on you, because this is what we do every day. So anyway, Ray fits really well with our whole vibe of building and being chill and taking videos, and that being the plan every day.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Ray? You like it?
Yeah. I mean, I like it a lot. I mean, when we started doing the whole YouTube thing, to me, it made my job, just working with them and for them, a lot more enjoyable. Because I mean, it kind of brought a lot of my interests, into things. And like I was saying, like I'm pretty big into technology and learning more and more stuff about that. So, kind of put it on my radar and got me looking into it a lot more. So
That's not what Jaime did.
What?
Started looking into more computers and phones and cameras and
Dude, no. No.
yeah.
There was, so you're not the paint guy. I'm trying to clear up some, misconceptions here, through the YouTube comments necessarily. So, Ray's not the paint guy. He's not necessarily the cut guy. Somebody said you may be the caulksmith. Are you the caulksmith?
Maybe I do end up doing a lot of the caulking. So
That's it.
I
There you
guess.
go. You heard it. You heard it here.
Ray claims caulksmith. Maybe
It
that's.
is.
I'm not sure there's a shirt in there, Ben.
No, I don't think there is. Yeah, probably
No,
not.
we can't pull too many jokes.
Yeah.
When you first started out with the crew, obviously it wasn't the same crew that's there today, or was it? Was it everybody that was Jason wasn't there?
Jason was there.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was everybody. Everybody
Oh, was it? Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Arlo was there.
Yep.
So
All right.
It's pretty much the same.
So you were the newest member of the crew.
yeah, I've been the newest until Max. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 years.
I thought it was.
That's
I thought it
amazing,
was
actually.
Jason.
yeah, I always thought it was kind of weird that I was the newest guy for so long. Because I
Dang
mean,
it,
I
Max.
don't know why, but like in my head, like I was like, construction crews should probably have a lot of turnover and like you know, people coming in and out, and I was the new guy for
I don't know.
6 years. So
I don't know. If something's working good, don't change it. You know, is all I know.
If it ain't
Yeah.
broke, don't fix it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, it's well, I don't know how to say this. Like, let's just say Max. You know, he's got a degree in construction management, but from what he's told me, they don't teach you how to build stuff like a carpenter.
Right.
You know, they teach you how to run a job site or
Manage
something.
it,
Or
yeah.
and it's not necessarily a house. I don't think it could be commercial. It could be.
I think it leans a lot towards commercial.
Yeah, I mean, all the construction management people I've talked to were in commercial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were working at like big, hotel jobs or the casino,
Right.
Cherokee and stuff like that. So I don't know. At any rate, he's getting a good, I think, more rounded view now that he's on the job site a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the college education side. That's great. Now he's getting the job site application side. But it takes effort and it takes time for somebody to get up to speed with what job site life is like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Ray did that just fine, you know, to where he can learn as he goes and start doing all like I said, cutting boards. He wasn't an expert at cutting boards or anything like that, but throughout, just saying, hey, cut me that board. However many thousands of times he's done it now, he's as good as any of us at it. So, but what I was going to say is somebody that was new, that doesn't know how to do this at all, or any task on the job site, for somebody like me to the employer to teach all of that is an investment in that person,
Right.
of course. And with any job where you have to, have new people and learn a skill, and you invest in them, then they move on quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That could be pretty frustrating,
Yeah.
It had to happen over and over and over continuously. And so, you say, hey, we're not, we don't have any new guys. Well, we got guys that are trained up that are doing a great job. And I feel like that's a good place to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole end point there.
Yeah, I think retention is a big part of efficiency in business. Like,
Yeah.
Because
Well,
and in value, like, because think of the time that you invest in, putting into this, employee what you want to get out. It's like if you constantly turn that position over, like how much time are you wasting? And time is money, So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
there you go.
But it's good to know that, at least you're not a stepping stone job. That's good, right? You don't. That's what we are in the barista world.
Is that
I feel
right?
like, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
be a little stepping stone onto the next thing,
Well-
which gets it gets old.
Right.
So, but
Well, you got to have somebody to make coffee. So
tis the
if
business.
you have to fill a position, you better do it. You will have
Ray,
the-
what are you doing?
I'm not
Yeah.
making coffee.
Dang it.
So, Ray, do you have any side hustles that you like to do, like any side jobs or anything like that? Like people ask me all the time, "Hey, I know y'all are busy, but man, can I just get some of your crew to just do this weekend project?" And see how I'm using that voice. That sounds weird.
It's a little raspy, yeah.
That was my impersonation of somebody that's trying to get one of my guys to do work on the side.
Yeah. Do they smoke?
Maybe,
I got you.
maybe. Has anybody ever asked you to do side work because they know you do construction?
Nope. No, I mean not except for
Except for Ray?
Jason
except for
or
Jay.
like
Okay.
you guys, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
asking me.
Okay, in-house only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
and
Well,
I would prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that
I
was
like
a
that.
short
I
answer.
like that.
to a very long question.
Not happening.
Yeah.
So, well, you brought up, Jay's channel,
Yeah.
in that project. So, which it started out, that channel was Ray and Jay,
Yeah, Ray J Builder Buddies.
Builder Buddies. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was back in 2000. Was it 2000?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that sounds
2020.
about right.
2020.
Yeah. Sorry.
what you meant?
I was like 2000.
Yeah. Sorry,
Ray was
2020.
like 10.
Yeah, not
2000.
5 years ago.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, there you go. It was just a 2-0. So that's and you did that for a little bit,
Couple
right?
years.
Couple years doing that, and now you don't, and it's changed over to just building Jay's way. So I know there's a lot of people that sort of ask like why. Why isn't Ray there anymore? And who better to answer that question than Ray himself? So,
apparently there's a video somebody made about it.
Oh, really?
What happened to Ray?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was an AI video, honestly. But yeah, so pretty much I just got super overwhelmed. There was a lot going into it. I mean, one, working with Perkins full time. And then I was doing all the video editing, and we were working on my house. So all of my time went to editing videos and working on the house. Yeah. And I have to work on the house in order to have videos. So
it's a vicious cycle, folks.
Right.
So, and we were doing 2 videos a week at that time. I think Jason's doing 1. So it was just like, after 2 years of just nonstop working all day, and then working on the house, and then working on video, and like I just got burnt out to the point where, like, for my own sanity, like I was already losing my sanity in a lot of ways, but I just had to say I gotta step down, like, because I can't keep doing this, or mentally, like, I'm just gonna collapse. So it's not as necessarily as dreamy as it looks. Like when you watch the finished video, you're like, oh man, I want to do that for a job. Yeah. Because like when you start doing it, it's like, holy moly. Yeah. It takes a long time to edit video. It really does, and especially like with me being interested, like, in that sort of stuff, like I wanted to learn as much as I could, and try new things and videos, and I was using Premiere Pro, and then like I wanted to do stuff with After Effects too in it, and I wanted to learn how to use After Effects, and like it all was fun and interesting, and like good to learn. But it just became a lot of work.
It's a full-time job for most people that do it, and you already had a job. Yeah. So like that makes it even more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Content creator, builder by day, content creator, editor. It's like, that's literally like a team.
Yeah.
And you live in the house where you're doing.
Right. I was living in the house where like I'm doing all this work, and it just became way too much. I don't even know how I did it for 2 years straight without getting to that point. But
I didn't realize it was 2 years. That's long.
Yeah.
It's a long
so I mean, that's the truth of
there
it.
You go.
I know everybody's kind of, wondered about like what happened, like, and
did you guys get in a big fight?
Nothing happened like between me and Jason. Like, we've always been
probably saved your
good
friendship
friends.
that you were big enough to say, I can't do this anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe
it could have gone south. Instead, now you help him on his projects all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Without the weight of having to produce the end content for his channel. So that's now
you're just the backup producer for Perkins Builder Brothers. No pressure.
I mean, I enjoyed trying to help, where I can in those sort of things. Like, I still enjoy like editing videos and stuff like that. So I'm always happy to help whenever I can, for sure. So
but definitely in bits and pieces, it's more enjoyable. That with any hobby, I think it can be like that. It's like, we love, you might, whatever hobby it has. Like, once some people like, I can compare it to like Joe McCoy, who is a bike mechanic in Cherokee, makes knives, beautiful knives.
Never knew.
Yeah, North Shore Knives. He has an Instagram. But Damascus steel, all that stuff. Like, and we sold some for maybe, I don't know, less than a year.
Yeah.
But it was like, he was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, no, man. They're like expensive knives. They're like between $300 and $500.
That's
like,
a lot for a knife.
But he was just like, yeah, he's like, once it feels like work, like if people are buying these and I have to continue to make more and more and more and more, he's like, it's not fun anymore. No, he's like, and I don't enjoy it. So it turns into a job.
Hobby turned into a jobby.
Jobby.
So yeah, he just makes them for himself or for friends, as like gifts. So,
well, that's maybe a good place to be with that.
Yeah. I've never gotten one.
So Ray, how's the kitchen?
How's the kitchen?
Yeah.
It's pretty much in the exact same spot where I left it.
Dang.
Frozen in time.
I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start working on it again.
Where did you? So for those that don't know, what state is that? Like, what is? I don't even know that I know. What state is where you left it at?
Pretty much what I need to do is hook up the electrical. Need to paint the upper cabinets, and really the hardest thing is just finishing the whole thing, because right now, like, it's all open as far as my living room, dining room, kitchen. But I only worked on the kitchen, so I got drywall in the kitchen, but the rest of the house is wood paneling.
Gotcha.
And we took out the floors in the kitchen, so that needs to be done, but whatever the floors are in the kitchen is going to be the rest of the house too. So that's pretty much where it is.
It's a pretty big job.
Yeah. It was
highly invasive.
It was a bad idea for us to. I left this decision up to my wife. I was like, "What do you want us to work on first?" Whenever we decided that we were going to work on the house and film it, and everything, and she wanted the kitchen. And that was probably the worst thing to kind of start out with.
Gotcha. That's a big one to start with. I mean, it's probably the most expensive to do.
Yeah.
And the hardest to live with.
Yeah.
Maybe, besides a bathroom. But
yeah. So, one thing that I'm glad that I did decide to do throughout it was try to work on, I moved the kitchen from one side to the other side, and so I had to make everything still functional as we were trying to work on it. So
that's a challenge.
I was able to do that. Like, we never went without like water in a sink and or anything like that. So but yeah, it's still in its current state. I'm hoping soon to kind of just jump back into that. That's kind of been, it's not been a problem. My wife's not like upset. She hasn't been nagging me about like, when is the kitchen going to be done? When is the kitchen going to be done? I've kind of needed to just take, a mental break from just everything for a while and get myself grounded again. And, hopefully soon I can start working on that again. So
cool.
Maybe Jay will stop sucking you away for his selfish projects. Just kidding, Jay.
He's about done with his big project. What is the?
Yeah.
Or are you going there today?
Yeah.
By the way?
After this, I'm going over there to work.
Jason was standing beside Ray yesterday when I said, "Hey, you are going to come, on the podcast, right, with us?" And Jason was like, "Wait. What? He's supposed to work for me, building on the thing." So, but y'all, is it safe to say you're almost done with that project, or is that not like?
Yeah, I think. We're gonna install that garage door today. Need to do siding. And I think we got to finish putting the ceiling material on, and I think that's about it.
Sweet.
So
it's getting close.
It's been a long series that they've made on this.
Yeah.
So
for his biggest project ever.
I guess, is that what he called it?
I think so.
No.
I think that's what it's called.
Well, I'll have to go see it when it's done. I really haven't even been over there much. So
yeah, you'll have to check it out.
With the building stuff, I want to move more into Ray's history before building. But real quick, before we move into that, I want to take a quick break, and we'll quick bathroom break.
Okay.
Maybe a phone break for you. I don't know if you need to call that.
Do all podcasts take bathroom breaks? Is this because we do this all the time?
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean,
it just depends.
Not
all
as
long
long as ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually the longer ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
And
We don't have to. I mean, I
I
can
haven't
hold
been
it.
a part of other podcasts, so I just didn't know if this was normal.
I think
No.
it's normal.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just normal people.
I can hold it. You want me to hold it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
All right. Here we are, back from break. I feel a lot better. I don't know about you guys.
Just because of the phone call, or did you pee?
Well, no, well, that's kind of personal.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But whatever. I don't answer questions like that. But, all right. So we've talked about some job site stuff. Ray being on the crew. And I actually only know a little bit about Ray as far as where he's from and everything. So, Ray, tell us, where are you from? And when you use your accent like you're from home, what does it sound like?
I was born in Houston, Texas.
What?
So
Did you know?
You didn't know
Okay, that was not what I thought.
but that's not really a big part of my life. I think before I was even born.
Being born wasn't a big part of your
Well,
life.
I'm just saying
Dang.
being born there.
Okay.
Wasn't,
Okay.
you don't say you're from Texas.
Right.
don't-
I don't say I'm from Texas
Okay.
because quickly after that we moved to Arkansas, which
Okay.
is where I claim to be from.
Arkansas.
So
Arkansas.
This is why
don't
you're.
say Arkansas.
That's
Somebody's
offensive.
gonna say it.
It's French.
This is why you're a Razorbacks fan.
Yep. I am a Razorbacks fan.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is. So,
it's our
Sports
University of Arkansas mascot.
is it like
Mascot.
tennis or?
No, it's college.
Oh, okay.
So most people from Arkansas are big Razorback fans.
Okay.
We don't have a professional sports team
Oh,
there.
really?
So
So it's a college.
yeah,
Is it football? I mean, I'm
it's-
just going to ask because
it's
I don't know.
football,
Are we talking about
basketball,
football?
baseball,
I mean,
all
Okay, all-
sports
all
in
sports.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A Razorback fan is all of these sports fans?
Do you know how mascots
not?
work, right? School mascots.
Okay, where did you go to high school, Jamie?
Yeah, Swain County High School.
What's
Okay.
their mascot?
It's the Maroon Devil.
it's the
Okay.
same thing.
For all
Okay.
sports or just for basketball?
Well, we only have one sport here. No. Okay, I get it now. Appreciate that. I'm just asking these questions for people that might want to ask.
Right.
this
You're not
and-
wrong. We got a lot of.
and
We have a lot
they're-
of.
There's some
we got a lot of
international
fans from
viewers that may
international
not.
viewers. Good
there
job,
you go.
Jamie.
I'm
There
asking
you
for
go.
people
All right.
that don't, they can't ask or don't want to ask.
Just because we
That's
know
what
doesn't mean
that's
everybody
my job.
does.
Yeah.
All right, Razorback fan.
Well, yeah, we jumped a little bit there. We went from birth to college. So
Well, I mean, that's where you're from.
so growing up in Arkansas, what part? Like Fayetteville?
No, not Fayetteville. So I spent most of my early childhood in Pine Bluff, Arkansas,
Okay.
which is kind of south central
I'm gonna look it up.
Arkansas.
Okay.
I need to see
and,
this Pine Bluff place.
Then whenever I think I was probably about 15, we moved to Searcy, Arkansas.
Okay.
So that's like north central.
All right,
kind
he's
of,
telling the
so-
truth. Pine Bluff's a real place. There's the
Yep. There's the courthouse.
the bell
Yeah.
tower thing with the that's pretty nice looking. Some brick,
Population 41,000.
flat. Is it flat out there?
In the parts, Pine Bluff, yes, it is flat.
Okay.
Searcy, you kind of start getting into the hills and mountains. We do have the Ozark Mountains there, which are nothing in comparison to the mountains here,
Yeah.
or most places. Yeah.
So I know that you like to hike a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. Did you start did you start hiking back in Arkansas?
Yeah, I got into hiking. I mean, it was early 20s. I'd never gone camping or really anything like that. Went on a camping trip, and I was like, wow, I really like being outdoors. So then I started going on hikes and kind of fell in love with it.
Now, here in Pine Bluff, it looks like a town or a city. Is there rural area around that where you grew up that's like not populated or,
Is it
good
bigger,
for hiking?
bigger than a Bryson City?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pine Bluff is
Pretty
way
big,
bigger than Bryson City.
Is
Okay.
it a city, like a real city?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a pretty big.
40,000 people.
Yeah.
It's 4 times bigger than Waynesville.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
wow,
think
yeah,
it's
that's
one of
pretty
the bigger cities in Arkansas.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
Okay. And then are your parents in Arkansas still?
no.
Okay.
My dad died probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
But he was in Arkansas at that point, and I don't have a relationship with my mom, but
Okay.
I believe she's in Florida.
Gotcha.
So
All right. Did siblings?
I have a sister.
Okay.
She's in California.
Oh,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about her some. Maybe you've got to visit with her over the last couple of years
Yeah.
here
yeah.
and there.
Yep.
Does she
I'll
know you're famous?
go. She does. I don't know if she gets how this whole YouTube thing works, but yeah, I mean, she knows that her husband
Neither does
actually.
Jamie.
What?
Neither does Jamie. He doesn't get how it works.
I think her husband probably understands it more than she does. I think he kind of keeps track of it a little bit. So, as far as the channel goes,
Okay. Are you an uncle? You have
I am.
kids?
I have 2 nieces.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
You never have to watch them because you're on the other side of the country, right?
Right.
No.
I do enjoy spending time with them. So
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that they're all the way in California because I don't get to see them a whole lot. But
Right. Yeah. The Arkansas wasn't. Is West Virginia in your story anywhere or not?
no,
I thought somewhere up north was. So
New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire. New
New
Hampshire
Hampshire.
was. Yeah. Okay. That was it. So when did you go to New Hampshire?
I went to New Hampshire. It was early 20s.
Okay.
Maybe 24, something like that. I went up there and, which I mean, this is just kind of part of my story, but I went up there originally to get help because I was struggling with a lot of depression, and it's pretty deep, dark depression, and it led me to the point where I knew I needed to get some help. So I found this ministry up there that was free, that kind of helped people struggling with depression and also addiction and stuff like that. It's a year-long program, so I decided to go up there and went through the program, helped me out a lot, and they kind of decided to invite me back on staff. So ended up staying up there for 7 years, working up there. And that's kind of how I ended up.
I didn't realize
in
it
New
was that
Hampshire.
long that you were up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, hey, you did pretty good. Now you're going to be in charge of everything, by the way.
Is it still there?
It is still there.
You want to share who it is? You don't have to, but
Yeah, it's a ministry called His Mansion. It's for any, you can look it up online. It's kind of a big farm up there. They've got about 300 acres, and you get to live there and go through classes, but you also work.
Yeah.
So you're working on the farm and doing different stuff. That's actually where I learned how to paint. So
Do you still keep in contact with anybody up there? Or?
yeah, I keep in contact with a lot of the friends that we made up there. Some of them left and returned
Gotcha.
to work up there. So I still got a lot of friends. I might be going up there this summer to visit a lot of them. So
Nice.
I went up there a couple years ago to visit a lot of them. So made a lot of good friends up there, and we all try to be involved in each other's lives. So
Yeah. That's cool.
yeah.
The was so after high school, did you go to college after high school?
No,
Okay.
I was going to,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
didn't work out. So
And then like what was your high school alma mater I guess, what high school did you graduate from?
It was Cersei High School. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the mascot?
Lions. Yeah.
So back to
Was that for all the sports or just for classes?
When you were in high school, like what was your dream job?
My dream job?
Or what you thought you were going to be doing anyway?
When I was in high school, I thought I was going to be an architect, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Did you take drafting classes?
I did not. They didn't have drafting classes or anything like that, but definitely. I was pretty math heavy in my classes, so lots of math classes.
It takes a good math mind to be a good, I would think, a builder or even a carpenter.
Yeah.
Or a home designer, architect.
What about being nostalgic here? Your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know. I hate asking that question because I don't think I could even answer it because it's hard to think about.
I don't know.
So I don't even know if I asked Jamie that.
I mean, that's a hard question. I think, I kind of mentioned, needing help with depression and, having to go and get help with that. Like I didn't have a great childhood growing up. So that's a hard question to answer, honestly.
Right.
Just because there's so many negative ones. So I don't know if I can come up with one, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's part, but, even though it may not, and I understand a lot, that you probably connect with a lot of people, that didn't have a great childhood, because there's a lot of people out there that didn't and don't have great childhoods. And, I think it's definitely something that, everybody should be aware of. It's like, not everybody's childhood is like yours was, and it leads to things, and, but you're showing that, there's ways to overcome those burdens as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's awesome in itself, see where you are today. And, we may not know the full, we'll never know the full story of what your childhood was because we didn't live it, but and you know where you're at now, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And I think, working up there at, his mansion in New Hampshire, like, I think that's what was so cool about it was just, knowing my background and knowing the people coming into the program, a lot of them, kind of gone through the same stuff, and, you're able to help them and, show them that, there's a different way to live, and you can have hope. You don't have to be stuck, in some of your thinking or some of the ways or behaviors. So, yeah, it's, it's always a struggle, but, it's always just good to also be able to look back on it all and say, like, I don't have to let that define me.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
It can't hurt to work with guys and be around people that for the most part are just upbeat and like constantly moving forward and go-getters. And,
yeah,
you are too, but I think that it definitely has to help. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely. We've all got our own struggles, but it's better to laugh than to cry if you can. And
yeah,
it's good to have as much fun as possible, even if you're doing something that is not necessarily fun.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so in New Hampshire, there for 7 years, you obviously met your now wife up there.
Yeah.
Well, did you get married up there?
Yeah. We met up there, dated for a couple years, and, I proposed to her, and, then we kind of decided, like, well, what do we want to do once we get married? And pretty much we decided that we were going to, as soon as we got married, that we were going to leave, just because, Also working, in that ministry, I was I was in charge of the men's program. I had worked my way up to that point, and for a few years I was in that position. And it's a pretty stressful position. You're always on call, basically.
Right. Demanding, basically,
yeah. Can't really escape from it necessarily, and I was kind of just reaching my point where it was just like, all right, it's probably time to kind of move on. So we decided once we got married that we were going to leave. And, kind of the question became like, well, where are we going to go? Mm-hmm. So her parents actually are retired in this area in Cashers.
Okay.
So over the years, like we visited this area, and never been to North Carolina before that. But we're both outdoorsy people and love mountains. So this area, it was just like, well, it's beautiful down here. Like,
yeah.
So kind of made sense. Well, let's move down to North Carolina. So got married, went on a honeymoon.
Where'd you
go? Colorado, Estes Park.
All right.
Sweet. So, which was beautiful. Definitely would like to go back again.
Yeah.
But yeah, a week after our honeymoon, we just packed everything up and just headed down here. Kind of no place to stay other than her parents, like no jobs yet.
Wow, just a full relocate.
Yeah.
Just like figure it out.
Kind of start over and figure it out.
Yeah.
And within a week I had a job and we found a place to stay. So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, a lot of people I think that's the draw for this area for a lot of people is just the outdoor aspect of it all. I mean, just being how accessible it is and free and,
a lot of good hiking around here.
I mean,
you still go hiking now, right?
Yeah.
Where do you go hiking now? Because I don't go hiking.
There's the park. There's,
right?
We got the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. I mean, there's plenty of other places to hike.
Yeah.
There's
Sons and Ashes, Nantahala National Forest, Pisgah National Forest.
Just pull
it's
up all trails.
Yeah. I will say, when we went to Vegas, or I joined you guys in Vegas this past year, or this year, wasn't it? Ray's always in charge of the hike that you go on. So
I'm kind of the navigator person.
So Ray found a pretty cool hike to Hot Springs, and that was fun. That's my highlight of the trip for sure.
It was fun.
Ray's good at navigation.
Yeah.
In general, not just hiking, but driving and knowing where to go, turn here, turn. I don't do. Hey, when we're out, like places, I don't know where we are. Like when we go to Vegas and all this stuff, I don't know where we are. I don't know where we're going. I don't need to know when we're going booth to booth and in the convention center, because it's like these huge buildings. You can't tell where you spin you around 10 times. You don't know where you're at. But anyway, Ray knows where we're going. And I don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
I just follow Ray. He's always got his backpack full of stuff and all his gadgets and stuff like that. So
that's what I think you said just the other day, that it's always good to have street smarts guy with you. And,
that's right.
And that guy for you is Ray.
That's right.
You gotta have your street smarts guy. Because you're like, when I go to Vegas, man, I got to have Ray. That way all I have to do is look for Ray.
I'm too naive and trusting. And Ray's like, dude. Like, if I ever got stuck in a really bad neighborhood and I could have one person with me, it'd be Ray. Because he'd keep me safe.
For self-defense or just to get you out of there?
No, to get me out of there. Like, no, dude, you don't want to do that. You don't want to say that. You don't want to do that. No, dude, stop talking like you're a gangster.
Yeah.
Why'd your dialect just change, Jamie?
No, I don't even know what that means. So anyway, but no, Ray's great. Got to have him on a trip. I'm telling you that much.
Yeah. As far as like hobbies now, like, did you ask about hobbies like now? Like, what is your?
No, not really. I talked about side hustles.
Yeah, you did say side hustle. Yeah, that's it. What would you say, since it's not mandolin, or not yet? It's not mandolin.
No, he's gonna go play that thing tonight.
I would say my biggest hobby is definitely hiking.
Yeah.
I try to get out as much as I can.
Pets?
Yeah. I've got 2 dogs.
Okay.
And 3 cats.
3 cats.
So, yeah.
That's a lot of cats.
Yeah, I know. My wife just keeps finding them or finding cats that need a home, and then we have a cat. So I think we're done, though. I hope we're done.
I mean,
At
we've
least.
got like 20 out behind our store in
I
town.
know Brett was trying to get me to take one already.
Yeah, I got 3 kittens in my woodshed.
Well, that's
right now.
that's your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got plenty of cats around Bryson
There are
City.
lots of
That's
cats.
for sure.
Lots of
I don't know.
cats.
This is maybe a problem, but anyway.
Yeah. What kind of dogs?
Well, one, first dog that we got, Coda, she is a Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix.
Gotcha.
Golly, that's a mouthful. What? Say that again.
Yeah. Belgian.
I was going to say like
Malinois.
black. It's black dog. Is what I would describe. But
She is black.
say it again, though. All of it.
Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still didn't get it. But
That's more.
Okay.
She's more my wife's dog, and then I have just kind of a German Shepherd mix.
Gotcha. I feel like all of my dogs are more my wife's dogs.
Oh, really?
Well, they just like attach.
Come on
they,
now, man.
yeah.
Lager
they do.
is your dog.
No, I think he would still attach to her, and you know.
Well, that's because she walks up. Oh, do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like,
Yeah.
Lager, sit.
Yeah. So do you take your dogs hiking?
Right.
It's hard to take your dogs hiking.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
in the park
Yeah,
at least
not in
because
the
you
park.
can't.
Yeah,
But,
unless
or you're not supposed to.
Yeah, unless I made him into a diabetes service dog.
Oh, right.
Then I could.
Oh, you could do that.
How long have you been dealing with diabetes? I'm just gonna come right out because people talk about it all the time. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people,
Yeah.
what's on your arm?
I was
or,
early 20s. I was probably about 24.
Yeah.
So
What's
yeah,
your-
it's kind of hit me late, as far as most type 1 diabetics get it, when they're a lot younger. So it's typically called juvenile diabetes. So kind of hit me a little later than most people.
We'll call it baby face in your case.
What's that?
We'll call it baby face diabetes because you still look really young if you were to shave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, it's been, I guess, about 15 years of dealing with that.
What's your go-to snack?
For a low,
Yeah.
Skittles. I think everybody knows that by now, but
I know. I just wanted to bring it up.
yeah,
'cause
maybe.
everybody here knows it for
I don't know
sure.
if you actually have. Do you have them in your tool belt most of the time?
sometimes
Or
I
at least
do.
in your truck.
Yeah,
There's a
at
box.
least in my truck.
There's a tool belt. There's a pocket in your tool belt for Skittles.
Perkins
No.
Builder Belt has a Skittles pouch. It's just designed for.
I used to have
Gotcha.
a prescription container that I would put the Skittles in and then put it in my tool belt, but
that's
I don't
true.
know what happened to
They
that.
can melt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
that's
get
not-
sticky sometimes.
yeah.
That doesn't make them taste worse though.
No,
And they're just
it tastes the
melted
The well, it like speaking of like the tool belt, I think I asked Jono this question. Like, what's the most important tool in your tool belt on the job site besides the Skittles?
Most important?
Yeah. It'd be interesting if you say the same thing.
I mean, I would. I almost want to say 2, but it's kind of a tie in my head. Can I say 2?
Sure. No rules.
I would say the hammer and utility knife.
Oh, all right. That was different than Jono's then.
He didn't say either of those?
He said measuring tape.
Measuring tape? Yeah,
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
it's hard to
sure.
say. It's hard. It's a good thing these tools don't hear our answers.
Yeah.
Get
They
bent up
feel
about getting
judged.
not picked, but
Yeah. So with the hammer, are you a stiletto fan? Do you see the stiletto hammers on the job site some, but I don't know. It's everybody, may not be everybody's jam.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my favorite hammer.
Okay.
I guess if I would choose one, I would choose that. But I haven't used really any other big name brands,
Right. Yeah.
as far as high quality ones. So
Yeah.
I don't know much
just
about
the one or
them.
two.
Yeah. You don't have the full gamut,
Yeah.
50 different hammers to choose from.
Right.
Yeah.
It's nice and light. I can tell you that. If you can
Yeah,
carry it,
that's
carry in
what's
your belt. Yeah, titanium and a wood handle, lightweight. That's what I'm liking about it,
Gotcha.
among other things.
And then with I guess your type 1 diabetes, you said you were maybe looking at developing an app that helps you live with it. What do you think? What's the hardest part about living with it, or managing it?
The hardest part, I mean, the hardest part is like you don't get a break from it. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I eat or whether I don't eat, my blood sugar is going to go up. And every time I eat, like, it affects it. So, it's not like eating is just, let me grab a quick bite to eat. No, you got to pull out your insulin pump, try to calculate how many carbs are in it, give yourself the right amount of insulin. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it, because, blood sugar goes high, it goes low. So it's like constantly in your mind, in the back of your head. And yeah, you just don't get a break.
It's always something you got to be thinking about.
Yeah.
And and I noticed it probably more. I mean, going to Vegas, I was probably around you more than I have been, especially in an atmosphere like that, like going out and, hanging out, things like that. It's different. You always, Ray's always like, sit down to eat, or like you're going by, like you're always having to, keep an eye on that pump and, or make sure that it's, whatever batteries charged, that you brought your charger,
make sure it doesn't get ripped out on the job site, right, which I think does happen.
Yeah, you would think, with the tubing and stuff, that it would get caught on everything at the job site, but it's really only happened probably a handful of times. Actually getting ripped out, like it will get caught on stuff, but
right.
But yeah, but then if that happens, like, you got to have a backup. If you don't, then you're going without your insulin for the rest of the day. So, it's a lot. It's just a lot to kind of think about and make sure you got what you need with you.
But you don't. I mean, it doesn't. At least I've never noticed it. It's not. You don't consider it like a limiting factor in you being able to like show up and do what you want to do or need to do.
No, I don't ever really think of it that way. The only time it is, I would say, would be whenever I have low blood sugar, because then it's not a good idea for me to be up high somewhere. Because if it goes too low, I can pass out. Plus, you kind of get weak and shaky, so like, your mind's not, it's kind of discombobulated a little bit. So, in that way, it does affect me, but I don't really think of it as like, well, I'm diabetic, like I can't really do this or that or whatever. So,
yeah, he doesn't call in late and be like, "Oh, I'm diabetic, I'm gonna be late."
Well, he could, if his blood sugar was low, he'd be like, I'm just going to come in a little later,
I did remember in Vegas, we had to find you a charger. We had to go find you a charger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if you forgot it on the trip or if you forgot it for the day or whatever.
I think I just forgot it for the day.
Yeah.
But
that was interesting. I've never had to go find a charger.
I lost my cord. That's what it was. Oh. Yeah. The cord for it,
That's right.
I couldn't find it, so.
Go down to the Walgreens or something and get a... what is it? Is it like a USB C or something?
Oh, there he goes. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm pretty techy.
micro USB.
Oh, it's a micro USB. Yeah.
That's hard to find.
It's hard to find.
Yeah. They're a little older.
With speaking of like, I didn't really think about the insulin pump getting caught on stuff, at the job site. I was going to ask you about, has your beard ever been caught in anything on the job site?
No, but it's getting to the point where I am kind of getting a little worried about it. It does sometimes I end up grabbing something and like my beard gets caught in that, but.
Oh yeah. Somebody made a comment. I was wondering if you'd ever like screwed like something together and your beard was like in between two boards or something like that.
I don't think so. I mean, It kind of gets caught here and there, but it's getting to the point where like I'm starting to get worried about like when I'm cutting.
Right.
That's a good thing to worry about.
So
yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen at that point. Whether I'm going to have to keep it trimmed to a certain length or maybe I'll just put it in a ponytail.
I think there's definitely a fan club for the trimmed beard and the current beard.
Yeah.
Because when you trimmed it, a couple?
I cut it off a couple years ago. So This is 2 years.
And you grew it
of
right
growth.
back, right?
Yeah. I grew it right
It's like
back.
as soon as you cut it, you're like, I'm going to grow a beard.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
I just got tired of it one day and just kind of made it just a decision. I'm going to shave my beard.
Yeah.
So it could happen again. My wife did just recently tell me, which she's never told me this before, but she told me she preferred me without a beard.
Dude,
No.
are you kidding? What?
Oh.
Dude, I say you shave that thing and don't tell her to show up.
Yeah.
She won't recognize you.
But here's the thing. All right. The whole reason I started growing the beard
Okay.
was because when you guys first started YouTube,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm listening. Go ahead.
so people might not know this, or most people probably
Well, they're going to
don't.
have to listen to the whole
But-
episode to get to the good stuff.
Eric had told me one of his sons really thought the beard was going to be good for the channel. 'Cause I had just started growing it, and it wasn't like super long like this
You
or
did
anything
this
like that.
for the channel?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, what a
Dang, Ray needs
sacrifice.
a raise.
Holy moly.
I did.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
when he told me that, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just keep letting it grow. Because I'd never had it. Like, it was pretty short, nothing like this. And, yeah, so I just let it grow.
I have to say,
Dude.
I disagree with your wife.
I mean, you can always grow another one if you change it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I can always grow it back, but
You know,
I feel like it's become part of me though now.
Yeah,
like
well,
that's the thing.
That's like mine.
Is like I'm
Who even are you without your beard?
I know.
Dude, I wouldn't understand. I can't pretend to understand.
Yeah. He's not Ray Jones anymore.
But
He's just Ray.
we're always trying to come up with some good short content. And man, if you let us shave your beard
Oh,
for a little
gosh.
short video,
All right,
it'll just take a minute.
Well, somebody said that maybe you should cut it.
Take a minute.
There was a
Depends on what
comment
we use.
as to
Got head trimmers.
a comment as to where if you should do it at the end of the mega build. You know,
Okay.
maybe that was a good. They're like maybe he's holding off for a milestone moment. You know, which they hit 1 million subscribers. it didn't happen then, but that was a little bit ago. But
yeah.
so maybe I should.
Maybe you just do a little trim.
Yeah.
Just trim
I'd
it
go
back
all
a
the
little
way.
bit.
You don't want to
Do something drastic.
You can dip it in the paint bucket.
I mean, I'm sure that happens.
Well, if I do decide to cut it off, we'll film it.
Okay, don't let it happen without a camera.
I'll save it for that.
Don't let it happen without a camera.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, watching one of the Pine episodes the other day, when Eric screwed your hand to the wall,
Oh, yeah.
that's what when Ben said, "Do your beard ever get caught in anything?" I was like, "No," but his hand got.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I couldn't believe Eric did it. He was just like not paying attention.
I know. I was thinking that he was just gonna just get it started and let me take my hand out, but he didn't.
No,
There's always a lot of concern about Ray's well-being on the job site. I think
right. Yeah.
He's got a lot of fans that are concerned about his safety.
yeah.
There was
That's
just
good.
digging through those old comments. It was like, oh, he almost
Well,
got hit
he's-
with a shovel, and then when you cut your hand and it was all wrapped up for those episodes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what happened? I'm
yeah,
concerned about
yeah.
Ray's hand. What happened to his hand?
Yeah.
So it was. You got a lot of people watching out for you, Ray.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, at least concerned about you. I don't know if they're watching out for you. They're
Except for your crew members, apparently.
We all try.
you got a lot of people concerned about you, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting towards that time. I see that twinkle in Jamie's eye that he's thinking about a trailer or something.
I've hit the bottom of my cup is the problem. I'm running out of
he's
caffeine.
just like I got to move on to my projects for the day.
No, it's well, it is close to that time, yes. Ray, thank you for being able to be here.
Thanks for having me.
Well,
And,
he's got to leave his parting wisdom before we wrap it up.
Well,
Because that's going to be our thing with our guests is what's your parting wisdom for those listening.
life advice, best lesson, best quote, best.
I think it's I think Jono's was, if you're not happy, change it to paraphrase. That's what his was.
Yeah.
If
I don't
you're
know
not
what
happy.
I always said, but
I don't think we asked.
I'm sure it was something equally as inspiring.
We didn't have time for Arlo's answer.
Well, he'll come back and get it. I'm just buying you time here so you can think about it.
Well,
you
I'm
know,
glad
that's
because
what
I
we're
didn't
doing.
know that this was even happening.
Well, no, yeah. Then you'd be prepped for it.
Yeah.
And you may not have something. I don't know.
I mean, I think I got something.
Some wisdom here.
Lay it on us. What do you got?
I would say, and this is something I'm, still learning for sure. But just don't let your past, circumstances or life define your present situation. Or your future.
Okay. Wow. That's profound.
Profound. That was good.
You pulled that one out good, I'd say.
For
somebody that didn't get prepared to have that question asked.
Well, like I said, I'm still learning.
That means it's true.
I think so.
It's not something he made up.
No, we don't get to read his notebook ahead of time. So.
Yeah, I know. He's got a whole page of stuff.
You just got to be prepared for anything. You handled it with excellence there, Ray. So, also Ray has a couple of nicknames. I was going to mention this earlier. Ray Bar, like rebar. We call him Ray Bar sometimes, and he got stung a couple times the other day at work because we're out in the woods working. Mm-hmm. So I call him Stingray. Yeah. Just thought I'd share that. I didn't want to let that slip.
Well, so that's good.
Ben, you got anything else in store for us in your notebook? Or we?
I think that's all I've got. That's all I've got for today. We'll be back next week with potentially another topic. Conversation or another guest. We're getting towards the time of year where it's getting busy. For all of us, you're gonna go on summer vacation.
I am.
We got July 4th coming, so
on a Friday.
Yeah, on a Friday,
is our recording day.
So we may have to have a couple part 1, part 2 episodes here. So don't hate us, or we may have to take a break. But we're not gonna make the call on that. We'll make the call on that maybe next week.
And let you know we're doing the best we can do.
Yeah.
And we're having fun here in the studio. So, all right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. And like you said, some more guests coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Working on a few more of the guys. I don't know what we're gonna do when we run out of my crew. We're gonna have to start interviewing other people's crews.
Oh yeah, I've got a list.
You got something in your back pocket?
Oh yeah,
you got something. I have a few ideas too. I may or may not have shared them with you, and I'm not gonna say it right now because we got to build a little suspense.
I think we should go big.
Go big. What does that mean?
I don't know. Let's get somebody big in the house.
Big would be like
we got Ray.
Essential craftsman. That would be big.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That would be big for this world, this YouTube world.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Okay.
We'd have to travel.
Yeah, I was going to say. I don't think he's going to want to fly over here from, I don't know where he's at, Texas or Arkansas. I don't know.
He's from Pine Bluff.
I don't know. I should know. He actually, I've watched a lot of his videos. Mm-hmm. Scott, right, is his name? Mm-hmm. And he actually sent us a hammer that he, made. He makes this, or has made, and patented this really cool hammer and sent us one as a gift.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So, yeah, I admire him. I think he's a great guy and a great teacher.
Yeah. So that's going big, I think. Right.
All right. Okay. I didn't know you were thinking that, but now I do. So, all right. Well, we're going to wrap up. Be curious. And if you don't know, just ask.